All right, moving on to administrative items, item 8.1. Amber.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. I'm Amber Evans, Community Development Coordinator and coordinating our public art program. I'm just going to introduce Regina Almagar, who is a project consultant on the Purchase Award. And so we'll be pulling up her presentation. And I'm going to show you one of the pieces we've been offered. I'm a little gimpy, so I'm hoping you can actually click things. But it is up on your board. So we just need to close this. We are making recommendation for 2 sites tonight, and Regina will be explaining the rationale for that. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute, hang on. There you go.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Regina Almaguer. I'm an art consultant that has worked with the city in the public art program, and Amber and Sharon for the past 9 years on the Purchase Award. And I wanted to give you a little history. The Purchase Award was started in 2006 with the goals of building the city's collection of artwork, highlighting the work of Emeryville artists, demonstrating the city's commitment to the arts, and enriching visitors' experiences of public facilities. Oh. It's got a life of its own. We'd always looked at City Hall for the artwork that was purchased. However, we're running out of sites now. The wall spaces are getting smaller and smaller. We have 9 works that have been purchased and 2 by Scott here in City Council chambers, and then Roger Berry, so there's not a lot of room. In August of this year, the Public Art Committee appointed an ad hoc committee to evaluate other sites for artwork, including the Senior Center, the Recreation Center, and the Police Department. The ad hoc committee comprised of 4 people visited those various sites and recommended that basically we continue to look at City Hall and the Police Department. The Recreation Center is really packed with its own artwork done by kids and others that use the Recreation Center. The Senior Center is going to undergo renovation, so we didn't want to put work that would have to be relocated later. And the Police Department, we looked at the lobbies, which have no art or other cultural amenities. And in September, you approved the recommendation to cite art only at City Hall or at the Police Department. The available art sites in City Hall are the large concrete wall, some of the end walls at the 1st and 2nd floor causeway, a little space between the 1st floor bathrooms, and some other smaller lobby areas. In the Police Department, we looked at the entryway to the department and then the 2nd floor lobby. The Public Art Committee approved an art selection panel that was comprised of Laura Anderson, Terry Cohn, Stephen Headley, Karen Lavin, and Mary Mushinsky. They met to review the 120 or so works at this year's annual exhibition and looked at them to evaluate them relative to aesthetic quality, public appeal, longevity, and curatorial focus. The panel always starts by looking at the artworks individually, creating their own short list of 5 top works. We then look at the 5 the shortlisted works as a group, discuss them, and this year we had 18 that were shortlisted for discussion. And during 2 rounds of discussion and voting, the panel recommended Ritchey's work. Mr. Ritchey was here. I can't describe his work as well as he could, but it's in an acrylic on polyurethane. It's actually very beautiful in person. It is very intensely imbued with color and motion and fluidity. It is a large piece that the committee recommended for placement on the concrete wall there in City Hall. We've long looked for a work for this particular location, and we've not been able to find one that could either hold the space or not protrude out enough, or would protrude out too much to allow people to walk by it. So the recommendation for his work is to put it on the concrete wall. He has a BFA from Mills College. His work has been exhibited throughout the United States, Korea, and the Netherlands, and he's had several fellowships to his name. So the recommendation for the first artist is Ritchey's work. However, the selection panel recommended and the Public Art Committee approved a second purchase by Nora Pauwels for the police department. And we do have some of her work here, samples of the work. I guess I can very gently pass them around. They're beautiful work. There's a series of works. They're done on acrylic panels. They're etched and then stamped with cobalt blue ink. They're just beautiful. I don't know if you've seen this in the exhibition, but they're stunning. The committee felt very strongly that the police department needed some artwork. It has no adornment. It has no art. When Amber and I visited, we noticed in the public spaces that the police staff exhibit their own artworks. They create art and they hang them, but there's nothing in the public spaces. So we were encouraged by the selection panel really wanting to put artwork here in the police department in the second floor lobby. And the artist has proposed doing 2 rows of 6 pieces, so there'd be a total of 12 on this wall and then the east wall as well. So these are opposite counters. This is above the reception area. This is if you're looking out toward from the reception area, looking at this very little wall here. But they felt very strongly that the police department really would gain from having some artwork there, so hence the recommendation for the second work. Nora also has a very extensive exhibition history, has been an artist in residence, and has also been one of the bus shelter public artists. The budget for the purchase of Rick's work is $8,500. For Nora's, it's $4,000, and then we have a not-to-exceed cost for installation of $4,500 for a total of $17,000. And I don't think the installation will come that high. I think we'll get away with a lot less than that. So, any questions?
Questions for Regina?
Move approval of resolution. That looks very nice.
Second.
Looking forward to the police department's
Yeah, they need
opening of the art.
Exactly.
they need some class out there.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Sorry, Davis and.
A second.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. And while we have this moment, I just want to say that I do hope folks get out to see the art exhibition because it was really a wonderful collection and a good celebration of arts here.